Well, folks, we are built for this. Tonight, I got to listen to Dana Brown and Joe Espada talk about the Houston Astros. We'll talk about the re-signing of Ben Gamel and what the GM and coach had to say. And the Dyken Park signs are going up. You know what? We're built for this. Let's go right now.
The stars are shifting, but the foundation we've built is rooted in defining the standard. Success doesn't come without trials, calluses from the consistency. Our fans, they expect greatness. We demand it. The pressure doesn't break us, it sharpens us. For every early workout, every extra inning, for all 162. Reaching the pinnacle isn't luck. It's persistence through the storm. We know who we are and what we're after. You can try to shutter the Stros, but the window is always open. We are built for this.
Let's go, everybody. That is a great trailer. That is the way to open a show. The Houston Astros communications department gave us permission to air that on our podcast tonight. Thank you, Stephen Grande with the Houston Astros, for allowing us to do that. That is amazing. I love that trailer. I love the sound effects. I love the voice. It is awesome. And hey, check this out. I got my 11-2-17 Forever World Series champion shirt on from my guy Rip Griffin over at Texas Baseball Report. Go check him out. Had a great night tonight. But before we get into that, I got to tell you that tonight's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app and use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Lowest prices guaranteed. Hey, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for stopping by. We started a little bit late tonight. I'm going solo. Eric will be back tomorrow night. He's in class till like 10 o'clock tonight. We didn't want to make y'all wait any longer. And I want to apologize to the fan that I met tonight. I met a longtime listener and viewer of our show tonight, and for whatever reason, her name escapes me. And unlike myself, I didn't take a picture and post it on social media, so I apologize. Next time you see me, remind me that we met at the gift shop. We'll get a picture. I'll put it all over social media. It's fans like you. It's our dedicated listeners, our dedicated followers who make us who we are. We are nothing without you. Our show rocks as you guys and girls rock. So thank y'all so much to all our listeners, all our dedicated followers. Y'all are the absolute best, everybody. Miss Lucy is in here. Mr. Rashad from Mexico City is in here. Supreme Panda loves the intro. Heavy front-loaded contract. I think they're talking about the Alex Bregman. Yes, the Cubs and Alex Bregman are in conversations, whatever. Look, move on from it. I'll get to what Dana said. I'll get to what Joe said about Cam Smith, about Alex Bregman, about where they like this team. But first, we get Ben Gamel back. And look, I know this isn't some big blockbuster move, but he is a left-handed batter. He is a guy that comes in. He was with the club last year. He did end with an injury, but the guy does have 2,000 at-bats in the major leagues, 516 hits. His career numbers, they don't wow you with the 96 OPS plus, but last year he was 109, even with the shortened season. He's got a 252 career batting average, 334 on-base percentage, 382 slugging percentage. He is a left-hander. He gives you that extra left-handed bat off the bench. And here are the contract terms that he's agreed to. The outfielder agrees to a 1-year, $1.2 million major league contract, not minor league contract. The deal includes a $200,000 signing bonus, and the remaining $1 million is non-guaranteed. Now, let me tell you why I think that is key in this situation. When you have more than 3/4 of it non-guaranteed, what that means is they don't have to pay him the $1 million. So I believe this motivates Ben Gamel to go out there. And I thought he was solid for the club last year. Again, it was so funny tonight. I had the luxury because I was in the right place at the right time, not because I've got sources with the club. But Dana Brown is sitting there on stage with Joe Espada, Julie Morales, and they're talking. And so Julia basically says it was right at about 6:15, 6:20. So Dana, tell us, what are some things you're working on? We know Bregman's still out there in free agency. Are you looking at bats? Are you looking at players? Are you in conversations with people? It's like, yeah, we still got some needs and we're looking at bats. And he went on for about 5 minutes. And then he goes, oh, by the way, we just signed Ben Gamel. She goes, really? He goes, breaking news. And so I went to Twitter or X and I tweeted it out. And I had 5 people check me. Where did you hear this from? What's your source? It hasn't been reported. And I literally took a picture of Dana Brown sitting in front of me and said, he just said it. Like it came straight from the horse's mouth. And so then, of course, all the big guys get the credit. I'm not here to take the credit from them, but it was just funny. It's funny how that stuff works out. So Ben Gamel comes back with this deal. I think it's a good team-friendly deal for the club. He adds an extra bat. Now, I will tell you, Rob, I know you're saying Verdugo is a no, but of course, he wants $10 million a year. I think Verdugo would be a great ad, but you're right. The money does make it undesirable. Excuse me. And so at the end of the day, having Ben Gamel back, I think is a solid move. Tonight, they didn't talk about bringing any relief pitchers in other than in-house. And I want to get to Dana Brown's comments here in a second, but it was cool to see fans from the ballpark, the regulars, even though I'm not a season ticket holder, I got to go. I got invited. Okay. I've got a bobblehead that I want to show y'all that I'm going to give away on the show. I'm going to run a contest for it this next week. And it's a season ticket holder bobblehead that was given out in 2023, and they were giving out extra ones. I got 2, and I've got one that I want to give away to y'all. So I've got I'm trying to get my son to get it. So anyways, I'll show y'all that bobblehead later. If I don't get to it tonight on the show, I'll show y'all next show that we have. So anyways, I'm going to give that away to y'all. I'm just super pumped. I'm super pumped about the show. I'm super pumped about the trailer. That trailer gets me going. Oh yes. Who won the bobblehead? I did not let y'all know. I will let you know after the show because I will send it out on Twitter. I completely lost my mind on that. Been so much going on at school, so much going on with my basketball team. We're about to have our district tournament. Oh, by the way, Eric's getting married Friday night. He might be on the show tomorrow night. And so we will have to see how everything pans out this week. But yes, I will announce the bobblehead winner because I do have it. I just don't want to say it because I want to make sure I get the person right that was chosen. So thank you for reminding me about that bobblehead giveaway. We'll do another one here pretty soon. So the Astros get Ben Gamel back. He's another left-handed bat that they needed, even if he's off the bench. And someone was, I guess, being sarcastic. They're like, well, we have the best outfield in the world. Now we have Ben Gamel, and now we have Chas McCormick and Jake Myers, and then Jose Altuve filling in. And it's just like, come on, y'all. Like we can't have nice things. And so at the end of the day, yes, that one right there. Thank you, Sammy. So here it is. Look at this 2023 season ticket holder exclusive bobblehead. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to give this away, but this is going to be given away to a lucky viewer. If you're listening, you've got to go. It's going to be something on the community page that I'm going to do. So check that out. It's a really cool. It is McCullers, it is Altuve, and it is Bregman when they are in their 2017 World Series hats. It was something they did to commemorate that World Series title. So check that out. This is an amazing bobblehead. I had one given to me, and I had one given to me to give away. So without further ado, let's move forward and let's talk about our lovely sponsors at Game Time. You hear the tagline, what time is it game time? Well, let me tell you, nothing's more exciting than getting Game Time tickets, whether it's the NFL playoffs, NBA playoffs, or the Major League Baseball playoffs. You've heard me say it over and over again. Game Time has this new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. It filters out the fluff to show you incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. I use Game Time tickets for all my ticket needs, whether it's playoffs or regular season. There's no better place. The super deal is especially impressive to me, offering the best value for the event. The app's features like seat views before you go on all-in-one pricing with no surprise fees at checkout made the experience smooth and reliable. You've heard me take it. You've heard me talk about Game Time. You've seen me. I've even gone on TikTok and shown y'all how to do this. It is such an easy, great, fast experience. Time to take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. Create an account. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. That's LOCKEDONMLB. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Now, let's get into it. Let's get into it. What Joe Espada had to say tonight. He was asked a few questions. Actually, we're going to start with Dana Brown at the top. Dana Brown talked a lot about Cam Smith. He was asked a question about, his offseason and trading Kyle Tucker. And he said, for what we got back, it was the thing we had to do. He said Kyle Tucker was an amazing human being. Kyle Tucker has become one of the best major league players. But at the end of the day, Dana Brown said, my job isn't just to take care of the team now, but it's to make sure we take care of the team going forward and we keep the window open. We stay on the same track. And he said that instead of having one more year of service with Tucker, with these three players, we essentially have 12 years total of usage that we have these players for. And he said, Cam Smith, and he said, and I quote, Cam Smith is an aircraft carrier. He has the ability and will hit 30 home runs in this ballpark. They have big dreams for Cam Smith. I absolutely loved hearing him say that. And so Dana Brown loves our club, even though he said, look, he didn't say anything definitive about Bregman. He did say he's a free agent, and that's all he's going to say. I see there's a lot of speculation about the Cubs offering a 4-year deal worth north of $100 million with opt-out. So it looks like Chicago might be the landing place for Bregman, which would be wild. Bregman, Tucker, and Presley all in Chicago. That team becomes one of the favorites to compete for the World Series. I mean, they will give pretty much anybody a run for their money as long as they have the pitching that holds up and can compare to the Dodgers and the other teams that have these stellar pitching staffs in the National League, because the National League is stacked. So at the end of the day, Bregman goes and chases his money to the chagrin of fans, where a all-star player, Jose Altuve, the guy who is the face of your franchise, the all-time greatest Astro at the end of his career, even more than Bagwell and Biggio, Altuve, 2 World Series titles, an MVP, one of the best to do it, will have his number retired, will probably be a first ballot Hall of Famer, says, I'll move positions for you to come back, Alex, and Alex doesn't come back. There are a lot of fans, and I heard a lot of sentiment. I didn't go up and ask people personally, but I overheard the conversations. They're like, hey, see you, Alex. We loved you. We were committed to you, but you're not committed to this team. So go make your money, go get your bag, and we will move on ourselves. So it was really cool to hear Dana Brown talk about, hey, you know what he said? He said, I like people being honest with me. And people come up to me all the time after moves, and they kind of beat me up, and they're critical. But he said, no one's more critical about me than my own wife. He said, he shared the story. He's known his wife since 6th grade. And he said, no one's more hard on him than she is. He said, I can take it. He said, he was basically raised with biblical values. And he said, I was taught from scripture that even an ounce of criticism has truth in it. And so he takes a criticism. He said, if you see me, tell me what you think. And he said, what I like to do is when people get mad at me for moves and then the moves I make end up working out, he said he likes that. And there were some interesting comments that I won't go into because if we take him out of context, it'll be taking him out of context. And I have a lot more respect for Dana Brown than to ever take him or anybody out of context. But he did talk about McCullers returning. He did talk about Luis Garcia. He talked about the pitchers like JP France. And he believes that by midseason, they will have a huge number of pitchers that will be out there and be able to contribute. He said he's excited to see guys like Forrest Whitley. He finally thinks he's going to step up in the bullpen. And he mentioned the arms in the bullpen that are either in AAA or in the big leagues to contribute in the middle of that bullpen. Now, Joe Espada was asked about Jose Altuve. And there was a question from Julia Morales, and I'm going to kind of read the rough transcript of it. I was trying to type it as they were talking. And she said, so Joe Espada, does Jose Altuve crack the lineup in left field? And of course, everybody laughed. There were some good light moments. This is what he said. It's a conversation that we've been having for a little while. We didn't just pop up on one day when we were talking about trading Bregman and say, hey, Jose, will you come do this? Now, Joe Espada will always refer to Jose Altuve as Jose, okay? So if I say that, that's Joe Espada's word. He said Jose wants to find ways to open spots up for other players to make the lineup more versatile, but nothing is set in stone yet. Dana Brown added, he said, look, I saw him running down a fly ball in the gap. And Dana Brown said, I had to put on my scouting eyes because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then Joe Espada added, Jose was out here diving on the field. And I was like, Jose, what are you doing out here? You're on the team. You're not trying to make the team. And he said, Jose is like a kid out there. He said today, Jose Altuve sent him a video of what he did in the outfield and wanted to know what his coach thought about his playing outfield. He said he wants championships more than anything. And so that was refreshing to hear that perspective of the Jose Altuve thing. It's not something they're set in stone. It's not something where he's going to play a majority of the games, but Jose Altuve is about winning. Joe Espada said our job is to bring back more World Series titles. Dana Brown said we are focused on bringing back World Series titles. And that is what the season ticket holders wanted to hear today. It was a really cool, a really refreshing town hall. And I thank my friend Jay Roberts for inviting me, giving me an extra ticket to tag along with him and his friends. It was great to meet them. Got to meet some different faces. Got to see my friend Wynn and some other people that are regulars. The people like you see that almost feel like they live in the ballpark. But Dana Brown and Joe Espada recognized how important the fans were. He said, you guys are the most important part of this. Joe Espada said, without you guys, we don't even have a job. So it was nice for them to see that. It was nice for them to acknowledge that, especially the actual season ticket holders. Because if you're a season ticket holder, those prices don't go down every year. They go up. And you guys are the real MVPs probably in Dyken Park. So we'll talk more about this after these messages when we talk about our friends at Prize Picks. Let me tell you about Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's right. The big game is almost here, and there's no better way to make it more exciting Then with Prize Picks, the best place for fantasy sports with over 10 million members and billions in winnings awarded, Prize Picks makes it fun and simple to get in on the action. Here's how it works. You pick more or less on at least 2 players' projections. And if you're right, you could win up to $1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks even has a free pick for the big game where Patrick Mahomes only needs to throw 1 yard to win. Pair that with one more correct pick, and you're cashing out. So, for example, like this week, you may be looking at the big board selecting more on Travis Kelce receiving yards or more for quarterbacks passing yards. What I love the most about Prize Picks, and I've done this, is it's fast and easy withdrawals. It's safe too. When I win, my cash goes into my account in as little as 15 minutes. So check out the promos tab to tail any of the super sweet Millie winners big game lineups. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win a split of a $1 million promo funds extravaganza. Download the app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 off instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Woo, this has been the fastest 21 minutes of my life. I feel like I am on some sort of like Jolt Cola energy high. Do y'all remember Jolt Cola? Some of y'all old heads like me might remember Jolt Cola back in the day. It was like the super caffeinated soft drink that could probably burn the battery acid off of a battery. And more so than Sprite. But man, I'm just excited. I was reinvigorated with life. Not only, man, I got shirts in the mail from my guy Rip. I got to talk to, I even talked to Joe Espada. I told him, I said, hey, last year I interviewed you at TriStar with Locked on Astros. He's like, oh yeah, I remember talking to you. I said, we'd love to get you on the show. So I'm going to try to reach out to the Astros, see if I can get Joe Espada on it sometime. It may have to be until after this next season, but he knows about us. And I told him to be watching us. I didn't get a word with Dana Brown tonight, but it was really fun nonetheless. And look, I just want to remind y'all, if you see us at games, if you see us anywhere in public, talk to us, come up to us, tell us what you like about the show. And don't forget about the community tab on the YouTube channel. The community tab is where you get to have your voice heard. And I've already had people make suggestions on the show. Like, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Make suggestions to us. I mean, what's the worst thing we can do? Say no or not use it? But let us know, because you may see a big picture, a bigger picture than we see, and you could help make our show better. And at some point, we're going to do a listener or viewer contest, and we may bring on a lucky listener or viewer during this next season. There will have to be a vetting process and a pre-meeting before we go live to make sure you have the right connection and all that stuff. But that is something you need to be looking forward to. Not only that, we're going to do at least 2 Astros games this summer where we get together and we go. It won't be road games. It will be in Houston where you'll be able to purchase tickets. And again, we're not going to upcharge the tickets. We will charge you the price that we get charged. That way we're not making anything off of that. We'll do some promo, some bobblehead giveaways, and so much more. So, wow. Whew. Let's talk about Dyken Park. Man, I went to Dyken Park today. I was not ready to see the signs. I thought I was prepared. I'm not trying to be emotional about it. I'm not trying to be melodramatic about it. But man, seeing those signs that were not Minute Maid Park on the side of the building was a little different, if you ask me. It was just like, come on, man, do we really have to do this? But I was actually talking to someone and they were like, you know what? Here's the deal. Bottom line is Dyken Park was not, Minute Maid was not paying their bill, apparently. Apparently Minute Maid was not paying bills or something. I think they tried to get out of their contract earlier than they did. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, anyways, it's Dyken Park now. The Dyken Park signs are going up. And I just saw a tweet where someone said they have 200 plus Minute Maid Park signs to remove. before opening day. That's a lot of signs. They put up the main Dyken Park signs. They took away the big on the first base side. They took down the Minute Maid Park with the orange tier. They didn't have the Minute Maid Park down in between the numbers. You know, they're going to have to add Billy Wagner's number up there because they're retiring his number this year. They're going to have to make room for that. The train is getting renovated, as we talked about before. But let me tell you a couple other things that they talked about. They talked about Christian Walker tonight, okay? And I didn't know this. Dana Brown said that he has known Christian Walker's agent since 1989. And he said they knew that Christian Walker was a free agent. And he said, look, make no bones about it. We were really bad at first base last year. He said we were one of the worst at first base, and everybody started laughing. And Julia goes, it's okay. We're friends here. This is a trusting circle. Like, it's okay. We can speak truths in here. And he just said, it is what it is. He said, you have to be able to judge yourself. And if you can't judge yourself, you can't judge others. And he said, we were bad last year at first base. Yes, Jay said he was brutally honest about first base. And he said, look, I've known Walker's agent since 1989, so I gave him a call. And I said, hey, we're really interested in your guy. And he said it just clicked and it fit. And he said it really wasn't that difficult of a deal to get done. So that was really neat to hear that. Super, super pumped about that. So you've got Jose Altuve looking at the prospects of going to left field partially. Now we've got Ben Gamel signing another left-handed bat. You had Dana Brown and Joe Espada. Joe Espada was talking about, look, last year was a test. He said, all I've known since 2018 is winning in World Series and titles. And he said last year was tough because it came with tests that I hadn't experienced with this club. You know, this is the least far they've gone. How do I say that? They basically haven't failed to reach the ALCS. Obviously, this was the first season in 8 years, but this is the most shallow playoff run they've had since 2017, okay? Or since 2016, I guess you could say, or 2015. And Joe Espada just simply said, it was tough. It was not easy. But he said, I believe in our guys. He said, we have relief pitchers coming up. He said, we have guys like DeCenzo that are going to play for roles. He said, DeCenzo, Melton, and Trammell. He even said Taylor Trammell. I mean, look, they're giving all these guys a shot. Gusto, they're giving him a shot. Gordon, they're giving him a shot. AJ Blueball, they're giving him a shot, these young kids, these young guys. And so that is massive for this team to realize who they are, what they have, and what they need to work on. They have full confidence in Abreu and Hader in the back end. And I'm telling you, Hader has talked about how he is going to fix the things that he saw last year. Oh, and our guy Forrest Whitley was even mentioned. They fully expect Forrest Whitley to be full go this year and to be a major contributor in the bullpen. So that's pretty exciting to hear that. Again, the Cam Smith calling him an aircraft carrier was great. That was a great comment. And right here, this is the most starting openings we've had to address in a long time. Yeah, you're right, Jay. Great point. We haven't had this many starting openings come up like this. It's been one person gone. The next year, one person gone. This year, two big names. Where does Alex Bregman sign? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you, people, I really don't think he's going to sign in Houston. And I thought there for a while, I was convinced that he would, and I was convinced that he was going to sign here. But he's absolutely, I think, gone. I mean, will the team accept him back into the fold if he signs with the Astros? Of course they will. They're friends. How will the fans react? How will you react? I think a lot of us are just tired. Look, this was a great year, 11-2-17, the first World Series title in Houston Astros history. 11-5-22 when they won their second World Series. My son and I were at that game, game 6. Jay Roberts says, but you're telling us there's a chance? I'm not saying there's a chance. I'm just saying he's a free agent, just like Dana Brown said. He's a free agent. I don't know where he's going to end up. Like, he could end up with the Nippon Tigers or something, some foreign team. I'm joking, but you get my point, okay? At the end of the day, I like where the Astros are. We are built for this. And with that, I'm going to leave us with another showing of the We Are Built for This trailer. Thank you, Houston Astros. Thank you, Locked On listeners. Make sure you subscribe to us. Like, follow, share. Y'all have a good one. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. I'm out.
The stars are shifting, but the foundation we've built is rooted in defining the standard. Success doesn't come without trials, calluses from the consistency. Our fans, they expect greatness. We demand it. The pressure doesn't break us, it sharpens us. For every early workout, every extra inning, for all 162. Reaching the pinnacle isn't luck, it's persistence through the storm. We know who we are and what we're after. You can try to shutter the Stros, but the window is always open. We are built for this.